Okay, welcome back to the channel for what is another treat for you, as we've got a Vulcan bomber, which I've managed to convert, and we're going to go from Grand Bahamas International, I believe. We're going to go from there all the way over to Orlando. So, and of course in the Vulcan, which I managed to convert the other day, and it works perfectly, to be honest. It's actually probably one of the best convertible aircraft. And the only problem we sort of run into with this is the engines. I have a bit of trouble like switching them on, but I made a video about that for anyone else who sort of struggles with the same problem. So yeah, here we go. It's we've got 3 going at the minute. The 4th one will come, but for the moment we just want to focus on taking off. And we can work on getting that 4th engine in a second. Okay, so not in the grass, we are up. Hooray. So yeah, now in the air finally. I converted this, and for what it's worth, I had a little mess around with it yesterday, and it's absolutely brilliant. In terms of it probably is the best mod out there. Very little problems. I mean, it was a bit of a pain in the arse starting it up, but to be honest, most mods for me on Flight Sim are. Apart from that, though, I just can't complain about it. It's reaction times, everything. It doesn't go mad when you go a bit too fast. It is literally perfect. Of course, it's not the fastest plane, as you can see. However, we do have an engine down, but that I believe will kick in at some point. Well, I hope it does. Speed's building, which is good. So we could probably go without it, but you know, we don't really want that. Just leaving the Bahamas now, on our way to Florida. I do like these sort of little flights from the US mainland over to the Caribbean. I did one with the I think it was the MD-11. Took from, I think that was from Miami to Bahamas, Barbados, somewhere like that as well, and that's brilliant. Great watch. No, it might not have been a great watch for you, but I certainly enjoyed the flight. It was an enjoyable flight, we'll say that much. Okay, so the other engine appears to be alive, which is good. You can dip it a bit, get some air into it. That might help. Speed's still building nicely though. And without that, come on, come alive. Want them all. And as you can see, this is a magnificent looking plane. Is the Vulcan. And it doesn't, I can't remember when they stopped making it. I'm trying to have a look as I fly. Allow me to get the mobile phone. Okay, so there are other engines. We got all 4 engines now. Hoorah. We are firmly darting towards Orlando. Fantastic. So yeah, it was a strategic bomber, which was operated by the RAF, the UK, 1956 to 84. It was designed, just looking at some other stats. Yeah, so they retired it in 2015 actually. I thought they retired it before that, but they stopped producing it in 1965, so it went that long. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, they built 136 of them. And if you've ever been to an air show, I mean, I've seen this go over at a few air shows and things. I mean, it sounds absolutely incredible. And that's what this mod sort of replicates. If you can sort of hear it for a bit, it sounds absolutely phenomenal when it goes over. Just great. A great aircraft. It looks great as well. It looks like a big Dorito, doesn't it? That's flying sort of through the air. How aerodynamic as well. For us. Just looking at characteristics, 99-foot wingspan. What else? Maximum speed 561 knots. We're doing quite a bit more than that. That's fine. Again, that's a mod. It's a pretty accurate mod, to be honest. It's not too far off what it can do without going mad and sort of ruining your flight. On our way to Orlando as well. I've also converted a DC-10, which I'll be showing off at some point. Do you know what? I quite fancy another Caribbean flight, to be honest. Going from one island to another. Island hopping, why not? That could be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that. And if you haven't dropped a sub yet, please do. It helps out massively. Always very appreciative of a sub. We also do requests, so if you want to see me fly from one place to another with a plane, we'll do our best to sort of honour that. So just let us know. And thank you for your support already. I did, cause I look at the sort of website, which I think is Raku, which does all the old Flight Sim X planes, and you can see them and you see which ones work with Flight Sim 2020, and then you go to convert them. For me, there's quite a lot that don't work, but there's the good few that do. So yeah, I'm trying to get my hands on a Hercules. The B2 stealth bomber is the one I really want. But every time I go to convert it, it just doesn't happen, and it's a mighty shame because that's the one I really want. Fly upside down now. Bit of a showboat in here, why not? This mod's good enough to do that, some aren't, but this one works really well, and you're able to throw a turn in like that. Why not? Yeah, as I was saying, there's a few aircraft that I was looking at the Hercules, trying to convert that, but yeah, that didn't happen, unfortunately, because it wouldn't have been compatible. And you look at, there's a improvement for one of the mods for Flight Sim 2020, and it was also the one that floating the Globemaster. So it's an improved mod for that. They've updated it, done a few other things, and it looks quite impressive. So hopefully I can get my hands on that at some point, and we'll do another Globemaster video. Where to and from, I don't know, because we've covered a big sort of bulk of the globe. But always do enjoy getting my hands on the Globemaster. And any of the big airliners, really. It's not often I do. I've only recently just started to do like kind of fighter planes and things like that. It's just not something I'm particularly mad on, but this I really like. And the B2 stealth bomber, if I ever got the chance to do that, definitely. I do hear they're trying, or they were trying to make, I don't know which studios, but they were trying to make an official sort of version where, you know, you can see all the inside and has all the controls, everything like that, because that would be a lot of fun. And well worth the money as well. So they reckon the Concorde as well, which is hopefully coming out end of February, they said, by DC Designs. That, I imagine, they said that's going to be about £27, $27 kind of range. That, I think that's reasonable. I mean, I'll pay 40. I paid 40 for the T1 Hawk, and God, I really don't enjoy it. But the Concorde, of course, is magical. So yeah, we'll be definitely purchasing that when we get a chance. Just zooming in on this now. It's an absolute work of art. A big flying Dorito. I'm just going to let you have a bit of a listen to the sound. Give me a break. Yes, as you can see and hear, pretty excellent. As for myself, I remember I did say when I sort of come back from my last kind of trip, I said I would be retiring from travel for a while, and for good, I said. But that hasn't happened, and it's the shortest retirement ever. I thought it would be about 3 months, and I'm travelling again. I hope to at the end of March. Yeah, because it's one of them. I can't stay away basically, so I just ended up booking a flight. I always want to go somewhere. The UK in the winter's fucking grim anyway. So I thought, yeah, It's UK summertime, British summertime, no problem. Best in the world out of anyone. I won't have an argument against it. But when it's you get your winter here, forget it. Go somewhere else. That's what I'm going to do for a week or so. And I shall be flying, of course, again with Emirates. And with that, they will. On the way there, I've got the A380, which I'm very fond of. Amazing aircraft, love it every time. And they're back at Gatwick, of course, which for me is wonderful news, because Gatwick for me is about 45 minutes from my house. So that's just fantastic. You get a train straight there, bang, you're in the terminal, lift up, and I think you're going to get a metro over, North Terminal, Emirates, there, done. Whereas Heathrow, it usually involves like getting to Brighton, then you've got to get a coach. There is no more ball ache-ish airport in the world for me than Heathrow. That's why if you look back at all our flight sim videos, there is not one where I've gone into Heathrow or out of Heathrow, even in Fantasyland gaming world like this, because it's fucking ball ache. So no, we will not be going in or out of Heathrow ever. I hope, maybe, that is the last I've ever seen of it, now that Emirates are back at Gatwick. It's so much more convenient, and I love it. On the way back, however, we are in a Boeing 777. Again, something I'm not particularly fond of. I was on one when I went to Ireland in the summer from Dubai, and basically it almost skidded off the runway when it landed in Dublin. They came in. I mean, I always like to watch you see my landings. Obviously, they're not perfect, but yeah, it came in. It was a gloomy sort of day. Comes in nicely. Might have been a bit too fast, I don't know. But then it touched down, then it starts snaking left and right. Finally, I thought, Christ, we're going into the terminal here. And yeah, I mean, luckily it didn't. But it always, the 777 are only Boeing products, really. I mean, I'm not flown yet on a 787, but Boeing products in the past, they always does make me feel a bit sick as you come down. It always drops quite violently. Maybe that's the pilots on the day, I don't know. But every time it comes down, it's not a good feel. And yeah, I can't say I'm looking forward to the trip back. Trip there, no problem. Perfect every time, can't fault it. Trip back, however, now I know I'm on the 777. Yeah, not great. But hopefully Emirates at some point will put the A380 back in service to going into Gatwick. That'd be nice. Okay, so we're approaching land. We're approaching the edge of the US, Florida, and not totally far away from Orlando. I know that we're coming in here, and we got a right turn. It's a very sharp right turn, so it's right, and then the runway is like right there from like the sort of waypoint from the marker, where you should turn. So to the time approach, so then you go there, and then it's a very sharp right turn, then you got to be down. So you got to come in sort of a little bit wide. For me, anyway. But in this, we may not have that sort of problem because it turns so quickly. So it should not be a worry for us, I don't think. But we shall see. A bit of a strange, probably not a flight you'd ever thought you'd see, a Vulcan bomber going from the Bahamas over to Florida or Orlando. People must just be looking up. What? Well, we like to do that on the channel. We like to mix it up, go a few places, to take some aircraft from here to here. That's my sort of thing. I wanted to do a video go from coast to coast, but I just never sort of pulled it off. We did the long one with Concorde, where we went from Hawaii over to LA over to the Bahamas. That was good fun. It was good fun to watch, but flying, my hand was on the stick the whole time because there was no autopilot. But if that Concorde would have had autopilot, then yeah, I'd have probably asked it to take over at some point and then taking it back for the landing. It doesn't look too fast, this, but believe me, it's fast. You're doing 600 miles an hour, something like that, 500-600 miles an hour, and it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look fast, but the lower down you go, it does. It's great. This is the best one. I'm going to put a link in the description actually, so if you want to convert this yourself, you can. But yeah, I'm not really sort of sure. I might do a video for people. There is a couple of videos there, which is the thing, who want to use the converting tool. Because a lot of people always are. I'm always getting asked about it, so I might just say I might do a video. We'll see. But there are other videos out there that cover that sort of stuff. Okay, so we don't need to reduce the speed just yet. I think we got sort of plenty. It's not like an airliner. I think we got plenty of time before we. Maybe another 40 miles time we can look at it. Kilometers time, sorry. And we can keep it straight on the sort of line that's guiding us with this. Look, I mean, you look at the BFR map, I mean, we're pretty much on line, and we pretty much have been the whole way. Which is nice, because usually I tend to veer off them in the Concorde or something else. So yeah, I definitely want to do more work with the Vulcan. This is a lot of fun. Orlando approach now. Just want to double check. It's always good to do this before we come into land. If we look at the map, just double check our sort of turning point. You know, it's a very sharp one, not a lot of distance. Not a lot of distance at all in between where we have to turn and then where we got to kind of set it down. Yeah, definitely no need to bring the throttles down just yet. So I've been to Florida countless times. I've been to Orlando, and there's always like airstrips and things everywhere past, and you just think you don't recognise half of it. But that was when I was on the ground, not like from the air. Doing 500 miles an hour odd. 24 kilometres out. I can see. If you look to our right, you can see the airport. It's a sandy coloured sort of tarmac. So we should be looking. I'm coming a bit left before I bring it down. Bring it left, and then I'm going to turn right into it. I'll probably head straight for it and then turn, but I just want to be kind of extra sure as we bring the engines down a tad. Okay, now I'm going to start that turn. Fly it into it. Still quite fast. That's not a problem because the stopping power in this is pretty decent, so it will come like right down. I want visuals on the runway. Yes, one of them. Okay. So I'm eyeing sort of runway in the middle there. Don't know what's happening here. The gear's down now. Great. Airspeed too high. Slashed it in half, mate. Too fast? I don't think so. Let's give it some flaps. Why not? And that will slow it right down. This looks very good. Centre the line. Just away a tad. Gonna have it. There we go. Down just about. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe.